Hi everyone, come tour my sewing studio with me. If you're new to this channel, I'm Krista, and this channel is Finding Shalom, all about finding peace. And one of the things I did to find peace was to leave the retail world. I was a bridal shop owner for 16 years, and then I came back to my roots of sewing in my home. The only thing that happened was that we had downsized. All of our children had grown up. So we had downsized to a small house, 1,000 square feet, and there was no room for me to sew. So what ended up happening is my hubby turned our garage into my sewing studio for me. So this used to be an old dusty garage. This was where we entered here with the big bay door that came in, and I could barely fit my car in here. But my husband transformed it for me. Now I did a video for kind of more of an overview, and it kind of did all the outside and all around. I did that for my brides after I left my bridal shop and I was bringing them home, or bringing them here. I wanted them to be comfortable with coming here, so I made a video for them. But so many of my seamstress friends and so many new friends, all of you that sew, got on there and just loved it and asked me all kinds of questions. And I thought, I need to do more of a detailed one of my organization, all my sewing stuff. So this one is for you, for all my seamstress friends. I thought I'd just go through. I'm still working on it. I mean, there's going to be some changes. Maybe you guys have some good ideas of how I can do something a little bit better. I would love to hear that in the comments. But maybe some of this stuff can help you if you're a seamstress, whether you are quilting or whether you're crafting, whether you're doing alterations in your home. I happen to be doing bridal, and so I have to have certain needs, but some of those things can cross over to all of those. So without further ado, let me just kind of start you over right here. This is kind of more my desk and my office area. You know, we've got all the essentials, the pens, and I charge my phone here. The one thing I do have is a second phone, and that is because in COVID, when I had my bridal shop, I had to give my personal cell phone to all of my brides because we went appointment only, and I wanted to make sure they were all taken care of. Well, it kind of grew and grew and grew to the point where all my brides had my cell phone number. And when I wanted to come home and just have dinner with my family and kind of wind down for the evening, they were all night long kind of texting me, so I got a separate phone. So if you are a seamstress who is doing it professionally, I would suggest having a separate phone. It's an extra expense, but it's well worth it. And then this just has like all of our office stuff. We're talking like my calendar and my schedule book where I schedule. I've had to have two of those now because we had 2021 and now I have 2022. Got little things, and this kind of just slides out like that. On top here, I need to find more space for it, but I've got my Sergers. I've got the Bernina 700D, and then I've also got a backup one because I used to have seamstresses working for me, so I have at least two of everything. I've got the Bernina 800DL, just in case something breaks. And they all need to go to the shop because they've all been worn out and tired. I'm going to toss this to the side and just show you. I just have just all office stuff all through here. Got pens and paper clips, and it's kind of a mess. And underneath here is a real mess. I just moved from my shop March of 2021, so it is now November of 2021, so I still have a lot more work to do. This is all stuff that still has to get packed. But this drawer in this desk was really nice. It came with my file cabinet, and what I do is file all my brides according to their wedding date. And that way I've got all access to all of their information. And then we'll move on down. This unit right here is something my hubby built for me. It's kind of like a nightstand. It's a really heavy duty nightstand. It was, when we ordered it, we didn't realize how heavy it was. And he put two of them together back to back. And then he put wheels down there for me so it would roll. And the idea of that was so that it would roll to, you know, where it can support a wedding gown when I'm sewing on it. And yet when I am working with, and it can come in and out, also it can get out of the way when I'm working with a bride. Unfortunately, because it's so heavy and we have carpet, it kind of sinks in. So maybe you guys have like a little tip to help us get this rolling a little bit better, because it takes a lot of shoving. But inside the drawers, we've got everything from, you know, pins, glue sticks, bags. It's really a mess. Kind of embarrassed of this mess, but but you know what? We're all messy when we're creating. I've got Huggies wipes, which are critical for like wiping down when you're working with wedding gowns, you want to be wiping down your counters, your machine, you want to wipe your hands. Also, it's great for getting stuff out of dresses, like if the bride's shoes scuffed something on her dress or got it dirty. I will use a little bit of wipes with a little bit of shout. It's a really good tip. And it also gets out blood, which is awesome. So then in here, I got these little boxes from, I think Michael's. And you can see all of those. We've got boning and zippers and flowers, all my little stuff. This box here is the one I use probably the most, and it's unnamed. These are my bustle buttons. I love these to bustle. I use the ribbon to bustle, and so I'll just pull this out when it's time to put a bustle on a dress. Got my buttons in there. Oh, beads. Also, whenever I'm done altering, let me pull all these out. Whenever I'm done at the end of the season altering, I will separate my beads, and that way the next season when I'm needing to re-alter something or adjust something, I can quickly find the beads I need. And I'll show you here in a minute what they look like before I sort them. So it's nice to have all of that. I've even got ones for prom and my beading tools, that kind of stuff. Just for repairing. I mostly do bridal alterations, so I'm usually taking in or extending or adding sleeves or adding all different kinds of things to dresses. So sometimes you need more beads for that. So that's that. I'll show you the other side here in a minute, but let me show you this great thing. Originally I had thought about this rolling all the way up against there to hold my wedding gowns, and then I couldn't open my drawers or any of that in here, and so my hubby cut me a piece of wood. It's still unfinished. We took the cork board from a pin board that I had, an old pin board from the shop, and we glued it to it. Now I'm going to cover it in probably maybe a black velvet or something. I need it to be dark colors because I'm always working with white and ivory. So I need something that when I'm cutting patterns or do anything like that, I can see through. And then of course my cutting mat on top of that. So, and that works really nice. I could just pick it up, get it out of the way, use it there. But mainly that's because when you are working with wedding gowns, they are so heavy that they need to be supported while you're sewing on them. And then I think I'm gonna have my hubby, who's behind the camera and who did all the work. Love you, Jay.
Love you too.
I'm gonna have him back up and show our heating and air conditioning. I thought you guys might enjoy this. This is a Dakin. It has both heating and air conditioning. My hubby's so nice to show you guys even the model number and all of that, so that if you guys wanted one, I really love how it works. It was a little spendy, but I think so worth it. And it comes with a little remote, which you can switch between heating and air conditioning, and then you can adjust the fan, set timers. Actually, we moved into this so fast that I don't even know all the things that this does, so I have to look it up. But it also can hang on the wall, which is really nice, and we haven't even mounted that yet. But it's really nice to be able to say, I'm a little hot, I'm a little cold, you know, and everything. The only warning I would say is put it in a place that's not right above where your dressing room is, because especially in the summer when you have the air conditioning on, it's blowing, and you don't want that blowing right on your bride. Maybe next to her or around her, but not right on her. Now, in the heat of the summer, I did have a couple brides who stood right in front of it, but then it's their choice. They're not made to. So that would be my suggestion for that. And then this rack here is temporary. I actually have a racking system I'll show you here in a minute, but I quickly had way too many gowns because I was supposed to be retiring and I was supposed to be slowing down. And I ended up with a lot more. Now, these gowns are not ones I'm working on. I am actually finished for the season, and I'm going to take about 6 weeks off and enjoy myself before I start up again in January. This is actually wedding gowns that we have a ton in storage, and we're about to start loading them all onto eBay. So we just brought some back from storage so that we can go through them, make sure everything's really nice on them, and then also, if you'll see right here, I've got it where we're starting to take the pictures of them for eBay. So then I'll walk you over and show you my system for steaming. I always used a Jiffy steamer through the years. I've been through many of them in the bridal store. I feel like they're the best. However, you know, they're expensive, and I did go through a few of them, but we were running them 24/7 almost. We were steaming so many gowns. So I brought my last one home, and my hubby put me in an outlet here, which is really, really nice, and then a switch here, which goes to a fan. So the important thing, I'll turn it on, is that it will take the steam up out. And I think the important thing about a small space is getting the moisture out, getting the steam out. So what I do is, let me show you. I actually have one of these little hooks that we had in the bridal world. I think I got it on Firefly or Store Supply, one of those, and it kind of adjusts up and down so that you can go for height. I had much taller ceilings at my bridal shop, but then my hubby just put on a bunch of hooks, and I just hook them up, and then I'm able to steam them, and then I'll usually leave them hanging overnight before a bride comes to pick it up, and I'll bag it like last minute. So I wanted to show you that. Let me hang that. And then, if you're doing any type of clothing, whether it be men's pants, hems, or bridal, or, you know, bridesmaids dresses or anything, you need to have a dressing room. And so my hubby put in a really, really nice dressing room here. And of course, what you're gonna need is hooks that are, if you're doing bridal, they need to be hung kind of high because those wedding gowns are long. And then of course, nice decor. And my hubby put up just a little closet kind of rack. I think he got it at Home Depot or Lowe's probably. And you'll need a place for them to sit and try on their shoes. I also, let me show you, of course you need a mirror too. I have one of these little things, I'll pull it out right here as long as we don't trip on it. I had that made, and that is great. It was better in bridal because a bride would stand on it with her wedding dress. I don't use it as much now because I like them to be on the floor, and I measure their hems down on the floor. But if I had a flower girl and I wanted to do her hem or anything like that, then that would work great. And I just had those made by a lady who makes cat trees, believe it or not. We just took some of the carpet from our shop, believe it or not, which was very close to my carpet in here. If you notice, I have very dark carpet, and the reason that is, number one, carpet for warmth, but I know it's very popular for bridal shops to have more like wood grain floors, but that tends to collect you have to sweep that a couple times a day. And gowns love to pull all of that. You don't want all that dirt getting on them. Plus the dark color, I'm working with whites, ivories, and if I have a light color down below, I'm not going to be able to see to do their hem. And so this helps everything stand out. If I drop a bead on the floor, I can find it. If I drop, whatever I drop, I can actually see it on this floor. So that's why I have the dark color. And I'll just roll that to the side there. And then I'll show you this direction. This is just a ladder. You've probably seen it in many of my videos. We used to have it for Spanx at the bridal shop. It's just a ladder they've made. And I used to hang shoes on it, like hang all my shoes for the bridal shoes. I also used to do like beaded belts and veils and all that kind of stuff. I brought it here, and I haven't used it as much yet because I don't do selling items or you know, that type of thing. But I have used it a lot to hang a dress on while I was trying to adjust something or while I was trying to sew it. But it also holds my camera often. I have a tripod that will just hang on to these, and I can do some of my videos with this. So that's why that's there. It doesn't really have a purpose. And then I think we'll walk over here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to get this. Ooh, squeaky. This is my sewing machine. It is a Bernina B330, and it is a workhorse. I'm pretty happy with it. I've had it for quite a few years, and it's starting to have some where it's gumming up and stuff like that. But I think that I've just ran it constantly for years, and I don't think I had it serviced. I think it was before COVID. So this is going into the shop this week and to get serviced, and I think it's going to do a lot better once I hit my new season in January. Then I always have a light. And then some of my, I'll let Jay kind of peek in, some of my drawers and stuff. Down here I just have, I don't know if you can see, spare fabric. I've got all the essentials, that type of stuff. You know, Lysol. I mean, post-COVID, you totally need Lysol. And then this little drawer that rolls out is so nice. And I just have it with everything you can imagine, from my hooks and my snaps, all the different, my markers for different kinds of fabric. I have chalk, scissors, nail file. You always need a nail file because every time you turn around, you're snagging something. And, you know, just all that kind of things, needles, my pins, my glasses that I need really badly nowadays. But all of that kind of stuff. It's on this no slid thing, and it slides. So I gotta fix that, maybe pin it down or something. In my old shop where I sewed, I actually had Velcro. You could probably actually see it on the bottom, and then I had Velcro strips. So, like it's right underneath here, I had done some of that Velcro. That helped a lot, it not sliding around. And then you have the mess on the side of my sewing machine. This is kind of the mess after a season of bridal. All of these are little appliques and little pieces from wedding gowns and everything. There's beads in these. Usually what I do is I take one of these cups, and when I'm working with a gown, all of the beads go into one cup. And then I know which beads to put back on her dress. I'd love to get something that didn't tip over so much and stuff like that. But then at the end, I kind of toss it all into there, and then I sort it into my beads, and also sort some of my appliques and little pieces. I save like all those little pieces because you never know when you need to just kind of fix one little area, and if you just had a tiny applique, you could actually cover that up or stretch it out or something like that. So I save even the craziest things. And then this pretty much is, I think this is pretty much just, it goes across the back on a bride. It's just an example, just decor. I've of course got your masks. Nowadays you gotta have masks. And of course tissue and water, gotta keep hydrated. My fan. These are all of my measuring tapes when I'm working with a bride. And I have my straight ruler here. I got this little unit. It was also at my, it was also from like Firefly or Store Supply, one of those places, and it actually, you can have the hooks, and you can buy all different types of hooks that go on that, and it's just helpful. I have this little unit here. It has different sizes, and it's to turn loops for when you're doing corsets and stuff like that. It's handy. It doesn't work perfect. Nothing works perfect. You know, turning those tiny, tiny loops is one of the hardest things to do. So, and then of course I've got my thread here, and when we go back that way, you'll see I have more thread that way. This is my cabinet for fabric. In my last video, I will post it too. It was kind of an overview. I kind of showed this, but since I was doing it for brides, I gave them a quick look at all this stuff. I'm giving a little bit more detail. I'll link that video though if you want to see the overview of everything. This is, I just have my fabric folded. This is the ivories and nudes and stuff. Here's your whites. Then I just have my labels that I put into my dresses. I've got scraps and some netting, stretch netting, stuff like that. That's called the mess drawer. And then these are just little scraps that I have that I don't want to throw away because I might need to repair a dress and have just the right kind of fabric. So I keep just the littler scraps there that are good scraps. And then this one here is my colored. And I don't have as many colors left, but these are, I just kind of put the most used colors, and I kind of got rid of everything else from bridesmaids and mom's dresses and prom dresses. And then here is some of my patterns that I actually have made. They're mainly for things like this, boleros and like straps and sleeves. These are samples that I can actually put on a bride. She can buy them right off the floor and I can add them to her dress, or I can make her something similar. So this might be, you know, just for like a really pretty strap. It might be a little off the shoulder number. Usually they'll come to me with a Pinterest picture or something they want, and then I try to create that. But I try to have a bunch of the samples of them so that they can see them in person. Like this is a little back. Isn't that pretty? Actually, it goes like this. on a wedding gown. So I could use that as a pattern too to match her dress a little bit better. Put that. We have, I mean, these little straps here kind of have a little, they can have those added, or they can just be an off the shoulder, or they can be like just a thicker strap, something like that. This is if they want like an illusion front and back. Here's the back with pretty buttons. It's just an example, and then I would use that pattern which I've got here to make it in their lace and their style. I've got little boleros so they can try on boleros, backwards boleros. Sleeves is another big thing. One reason I like to have sleeves is because a lot of times they find the pictures on Pinterest and that's what they want, and then they try them on and they don't like them. So they kind of restrict movement sometimes if you don't have a good stretch in them, and it's hard to put stretch in some of the lace appliques. And then sometimes they're itchy. It depends on the bride. Sometimes they're very sensitive to it itching. So it's good to try it on them before you actually go to all the work making it. So that saves me some time and some sanity. Up here I have all my bra cups. So we have like gelled bra cups in all the different sizes, A through double D and on. And then we also just have different kinds of fabric and lace. I have lace, you know, in packs that I have more of. You never know what you need to repair. I just have a very inexpensive iron, and then of course my water and my little filter thing. I've got Dressmakers Hams. This is something fun if you love bridal and all that. Is one of my bridal companies actually gave me some of their samples of beadwork. So and lace. So I don't know what to do with those. Maybe you guys have an idea, but I cannot get rid of them because they're so pretty. Also in these drawers here, on the left is all drawers filled with lace and appliques from the dresses I used to sell. So like Casablanca Bridal and Jasmine and Alfred Angelo. I keep all of the little laces that I've ordered through the years, and sometimes if they came off of a certain dress, that way if I have to repair anything, I can repair somebody's dress and find something. And I put them in these baggies, which I got online, or my husband brought me some, or I've gotten some through the years through this and that. I save baggies like crazy. But it's great because I can sort through here and see what matches and then repair their dress. Just a little of everything. Like I said, the one on the left here is all from those companies that I know. So, and sometimes I'll even have on there what the style number is, so I can, if I get that dress again, I can repair it. And then sometimes it's just fabric, like a whole, this is from Jasmine Bridal, and I have like it by the yard, so I could either repair a dress or I could make a bolero or something like that for this little gal. And the drawers are starting to get stuck. Then this side here is stuff I've either found on Etsy or I found at the local fabric store. Just, I mean, if I take something off of a wedding gown, then I save it because you just never know when you're going to need it. and I have it by the yards. I think I got this off of Etsy, and I have it priced at $32 a yard. It tells me what to charge and all of that kind of stuff, and how many yards is there. Just all different kinds of things. Colors. This was from a quinceañera dress we did years ago. I don't know that I'll ever find a place to use that again, but at least they have it. And this, we actually hand dyed those appliques to match her her quinceañera dress. And then I have these wonderful straps from bras. If you ever get a bra in, you know, and it comes with these extra straps, then these are great for sewing behind the beaded straps on wedding gowns. So it keeps them comfortable and from slipping. And you can also use like invisible or clear elastic works as well. It just makes it so it's a little more comfortable. So then I'll have my hubby stand up a little bit and we will show you this side. I've got my ladder so I can get up there because I'm short. I actually have a cutting board back here so I can cut large pieces, and I'll show you how I do my table here in a minute. This is like the perfect spot for my iron. It just kind of locks in right there and doesn't fall over. Got my vacuum, you know, the essentials. And then this is the rack that I'm supposed to be using just this for all of my bride's dresses. But this year I had so many dresses that it packed this. Plus I had to go to storage and get myself another rack. So it was a lot of dresses. So then I'll let Jay show a few of those things before turning around this way. And like I said, I've only been working in this space for about 7 months. So I've only been working in this space for 7 months. So I've been adjusting things. You always need to do adjustments. So I know it'll change a little bit here and there, but it's starting to work. You know, when you first do, actually, I don't back into that thing. I should show you these here. I didn't show these drawers here. So this, I've got some tools. I've got button loops, elastic button loops. I've got interfacing, some ribbon. This is the things that the felt that goes onto hangers to keep them from slipping. Snaps, every little thing you can imagine. And just like the other side, I have all of this. I've got stuff for lace-ups. These are panels for lace-ups and loops for laces. These are all one of the benefits I had of owning a bridal shop is that all of my samples for 16 years, every time they lost one of their little loops, I got to keep it. And what I do is I use these for making lace-up dresses. So this box, I have all of my ivory ones. I have white. I have all different colors. So every once in a while I get a prom dress in that I'm trying to make a lace-up back on, and I can quickly grab some loops for that. So just that kind of stuff. These cabinets make it really, really nice. And then let me show you what I do to add more space. This is my sign that I actually put out front to guide people to my backyard. And this area right here is a sitting area, and I'm hoping to get a settee. I had 2 beautiful chairs from my shop, and they were part of a set, and I ended up selling the set, but I wasn't I thought, well, I get to buy a new settee or something, so I'll probably put like a little couch settee here, and then I've got a spot for the bride and stuff she needs, you know, mints and hand sanitizer and little hand mirrors. Okay, walk away and show you. My hubby found these little hand mirrors. These are critical for them to be able to see the back of them. So what I do to add myself more space when I don't have brides here, I will block myself out days where I'm just sewing. I could be in my pajamas, but I'm just sewing and I'm making a mess. And what I do is I have this little table that I found at Costco. And it folds in half. And I'm going to do this gracefully, okay? And I will actually just put it up with these tables here. And then I will get my cutting mat and lay it out here and try to get it flat. This usually will move over and all of that kind of stuff. The other thing I do with this table or with that is I put my mannequin on top of it. And as long as it doesn't hit the ceiling, which some of my brides are pretty tall, so when I get the mannequin tall, it's hard. But then I can actually work on her hem when I'm hand picking it or beading it or all of that, and I don't have to be down on my hands and knees, so that helps a lot. So I hope you liked my little studio. Over here is just memorabilia. If you want to see more about that, you can actually go to the other video that I will link down below in the description, plus at the end. I think I didn't say that those were my parking little things. I don't know what to do with all of my parking reflectors because I have so many of them. I gave them to my kids and I've got a ton, but it's like you hate to throw them away after you spent money on them. But anyways, once again, I am Christa and this is Finding Shalom. My purpose for starting this channel really didn't have anything to do with sewing. It was about my journey to find peace. And for years I was struggling to find peace, and I found it and I wanted to share it with the world, and it's still a journey. So that's what the majority of my channel is about. But I did notice that when I put on a video for my sewing studio, I got a lot of new seamstress friends, and I love you guys very much. So if this is some content you want me to add here and there, I would love to do that for you. So just tell me a comment and what you want to know. I would love to answer that. This is my life. This is my job. So I do videos about peace and about Bible study, but I live sewing 24/7. So anyways, I love you guys all very much. Shalom to all my dear sewing friends, and I wish you well, and I hope you guys get a chance to live out your dreams as well. Love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.